my dear Virgo, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between March 16 and March 31st, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I put the astrological information for the month of March in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se, where you can find and buy all the decks I'm using in this video. There is also a subscription service up on my webpage that you can take part of if you want to learn more about spiritual growth, yoga and tarot. So for this reading, I used the chart of the Hidden Realm by Barbara Moore and illustrated by Julia Jeffrey, and I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open your deck here, I see the Nine of Swords together with the Emperor. So it seems like you're trying to take control over a difficult situation, or someone in maybe leadership position is making your situation difficult. That might be it as well. Nine of Swords, it's cruelty. It's called cruelty. We can be treated cruel by others or treat others with cruel demeanor, or we can treat ourselves cruel by the thoughts we are thinking. I will never be loved. No one will ever love me. Or I will never get money. I will never feel content. I will never. All these life experience that you have been through, that have put you through a certain amount of pain, has also given you a lot of wisdom. That's shown with this owl here in this picture. And the owl is shedding some feathers here to guide you along the way, to show you the wisdom that you have gained from your difficulties. You can stay in victim mood and say, I will never do this again, or I will never love again, or I can never, if you want to, but it's much better to align with the wisdom. Okay, so that didn't work. I'll try this instead. Or next time I'll say no, okay, like the Emperor. To lead a kingdom or an empire, you need to have a great amount of wisdom. You also need to be able to have boundaries. This Emperor has two ravens, and they can be Hugin and Mumin. That's the ravens of Odin. And they were going around the world each day like satellites above the Earth's surface and checking in things, and they always send back the information to Odin, much what our satellites does today. So they collected knowledge to him, and they warned him about things like this is going on. So to be an emperor, you need to be on top of information as well, to be able to see what's what, and not if an emperor would just say, oh, there's a big danger, poor oh me, my empire is going to fail, he wouldn't be an emperor for long. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have also the Empress and the Emperor. So it seems to be a matter of masculinity and femininity. This is yin and yang, of course. So they need to be in balance. The yin is receptive. Instead of being a victim, you can just see what comes to you and sort if you want it or you don't want it. Always stay in the blissful peace of the Empress, and you will be very attractive. Okay, if you it's like this beautiful flower that always send out your scent, and I don't mean like attractive by your appearance, but by your soul. Okay, to stay in your blissful inner space, your body, and just love being here, love being alive, appreciating everything you see, then you will send out a total new vibration. The Emperor is here to kind of protect the Empress and the progeny, and the Empress is kind of the value of said empire, the forest, the gold, the domesticated cattle, the wild animals in the forest. Everything is coming from the Empress, from the earth, and the Emperor is kind of a gardener that's here to take care of it. Okay, So I called the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we see Ace of Wands with the Emperor. So it's kind of some new idea or some new adventure, some longing from your soul that's calling you. Yes, and I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, truth, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Virgo viewers, 8 of Cups. To give them a clear view reading, I want my dear Virgos to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. 5 of Wands, conflict. 4 of Wands, no conflict when you align with yourself and whatever you find inside of there, no matter if you think it's lovable or not. Okay, just be yourself, be the Empress. Okay, and we have the Lovers. Yes, here the Empress and the Lovers. So when the Emperor and the Empress comes together like this, it's often saying that you belong together with someone, like the other person is another part of you, or they are just showing the other part of you. If you're very masculine to your appearance, another person can show your femininity, and if you're very feminine, someone else might show you your masculinity. So you will balance these energies up in your own life. Okay, so I will just tune into your energy for a few seconds. Okay. So, my dear Virgos, this is your future, and this is your now, and this is the past. So, in the past, we have 7 of Wands. We also saw 5 of Wands and 4 of Wands popping out. So, the 7 of Wands, it's about protecting your boundaries, protecting your borders, knowing exactly, being in tune with yourself, so you know exactly when to say yes and when to say no. And when you say yes to things, you feel your vibration inside of you. If it's a good vibration, the yes was authentic. If it's a bad vibration, you probably didn't meant it. Say no and see how that works for you. If the no is creating a bad vibration inside of you, you didn't mean to say no. If it causes a good vibration inside of you, you wanted to say no. So this is how easy boundaries is. You just feel them. Where are they? You have them naturally. You don't have to search for them on the outside of you. They are inside of you. And here we have the Fool. It has come in the same position both for Libra and Gemini. So the Fool is a gateway to something new. It's a beginning. It's a start. Everything is starting anew, a new life. We also have spring coming for half of the globe. So means new growth, new prosperity. Yes, the Ace of Pentacles is there as well. A gateway, potential, like you have a potential here in front of you that you can use to your own benefit if you unify with your soul. The Fool is perfectly in tune with his soul, because he's kind of in his mind is just kind of under the age of 3. So that's before you experience the real separation from other people and understand that you are your unique self and that you can be destroyed. So before that, you are blissfully in this state of in connection with everything. And you also have the butterfly there to symbolize transformation and mutation and metamorphosis. Okay, and here we have a 9 of Cups. We saw the 8 of Cups coming. So when you know what you don't like, what you want to, what you kind of shies away from naturally, you also know what you do want. And 9 of Cups is the wish card. What do you wish for? 9 is also connected with Virgo. It's connected with the Hermit card, being in you're blessed inside and getting to know yourself a little bit better. So get to know your wishes here. Okay. So the past here for you is 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles is a very beautiful card. It's about growth, It's about prosperity. It's about having a plan for how to fix a problem or how to heal a relationship or a situation. It's also you're being valued for your work, so you need to put in your best effort. You need to show people that you mean business and that you want to cooperate, and you can only hope for other people to cooperate too. You can't control them, and if they are not cooperating with you, you will also stop with cooperating with them or withdrawing from them, because you can't control another person or another situation. You can only control yourself. Okay, and here we have a beautiful little Page of Cups. So Page of Cups is much connected with the Fool card, of course. Both are kind of children, and the Page of Cups is holding the cups of your heart. So this is your inner child. It's the baby inside of you that knows stuff. Okay, it knows when you're hungry. It knows when you need love. It knows when you need comfort. It knows when you need activity. It knows when you are bored, when you're happy, when you're sad. It knows everything, and you're probably a little bit scared of it. Most people are. So Three of Pentacles is also Trinity. It's mother, father, child. So this might be like a family situation with a baby, or it's talking about how you are working together with those pieces of yourself, how you are able to listen to your inner baby. We have the Seven of Wands there. Okay, so the Seven of Wands is when you know your inner baby, you also know where your boundaries are. And here you have Two of Wands. So Two of Wands is a boundary. When you play like this with someone else, you need to always show them, yes, this I like, this I don't like, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. These children seems to be playing very harmonious together because they are young, so they haven't really learned this with the separation just yet. But Two of Wands is this with having like drawing a line between yourself and another person, and knowing where you ends and the other person begins. So don't take things so personally. Just be yourself. Just show yourself as you truly are, without trying to compromise yourself to fit the other person. Of course, we always need to work together with people, but you can always tell them, well, this is how I feel, this is what I want. And then they will tell, well, this is how I feel and this is how I want. And then you know your standpoints, and you can work something out together, like with the Three of Pentacles. But here it's going a little bit backwards. Like you need to make a compromise or work on something, maybe a relationship, a family situation, or it might be on your workplace as well. Like, what is going to be my occupation? You ask your inner self what it can be happy with for a long period of time. And here will come the natural boundary. You will feel what you want and what you don't want. It's kind of the Seven of Wands all over again, but this time with the Two of Wands, it's talking about taking a little bit of time to just see, to just meditate on a thing, to feel inside, okay, so here I need to make a choice. What choice would I make? What choice would it be? And you feel how different answers resonate within you. So we always need to teach people how to treat us. And it's our inner baby that kind of says what it is, that how you want to be treated. Okay, so next, this was in the past, so it seems like a situation where you have been maybe forced to negotiate with your inner child. It usually has very strong opinions about things, like it wants what it wants, and you might want it to cooperate better with other people, but its boundaries are clear. You can't really negotiate away certain things, but you can, if you tell a person like, well, I feel very overwhelmed here, or I need more love, or I don't want to do this, but I can do this. You can have a fruitful discussion that will make you able to make a choice that's good for both parties. But with the Two of Wands, sometimes we we put up shields towards other people, because we get hurt in our ego a little bit when they are not making us happy in the way we want. Don't do that, because you can't control another person. You can tell them what you want, but if they are not giving it to you, it's up to you to instate those boundaries, or to say accept it or not. Okay. So it can be a family situation, it can be a relationship where you try to negotiate yourself and make you fit with the other person, but don't try to do that. Be yourself and communicate yourself. It's a much better idea. I think you're holding on to something here because you don't want to have a conflict maybe, but it seems like fair enough, a healthy situation, like healthy cooperation, and maybe there's a gift also. Someone might be wanting to say something to you, like how much they appreciate you, but with the Two of Wands, they probably hold back a little bit because they don't know your reaction. So this is in the now, and here we have a Two of Swords. So that goes, it's continued this discussion I have already said. It's about you kind of don't want to do something that causes a conflict or causes disturbance. You don't want to have the consequences of what you truly feel and want. So you might shut up in the name of peace. Okay, so you don't want to go and disturb things, and you're like very well raised or very well behaved, so you're not really talking, but it's also giving you advices. You see this girl, she's like threatening this this beautiful little person here with his with her sword. It can be like setting an ultimatum, like instate your boundaries, know what they are and hold them. Don't make them wither away and become like a victim. Oh, he did this to me again, or she did like this to me again. Well, you let them, because you didn't instate your ultimatum, you didn't follow through with it, because you didn't use your power. All twos are also self-control, being able to have self-control. So if you are decided upon what your inside feels like, what it wants and what it doesn't want, and you get a lot of crap of this what you don't want, and you just keep silent about it, then things will continue like this, because things will never change before you change. Okay, so you need justice, so give it to yourself. You need a hero, become a hero yourself. You need love, start loving yourself. So next card, really central, is Knight of Cups. So it's continuing with this raising vibration of love here also. Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. We are moving in the second part of March. We are moving out from, this is Pisces, and we're going into Aries, which is the Emperor that we saw in the beginning. So you have certain dreams in this time. There's a very precious time where you can actually tune into what you really want and know it. When you come into the Aries age, you might be like preoccupied with other things and have a lot on your to-do list, and you won't really maybe have the same awareness that you have now to really understand what it is that you love, or who you love. It might be someone that wants to come with a love offer to you as well, but they are fearful of the consequences of giving that love offer, or you are fearful of giving someone else a love offer, because it's very beautiful here. You can be fearful of instating boundaries, but you can also be fearful of showing your love to someone or your appreciation, because you're maybe scared of being humiliated if that person just laughs in your face or say, well, I want to just be friends, or whatever is going on here. Yeah, so here comes the fear, Nine of Swords. So pain is really, pain is a reaction to what happens in your outside world, but it's a reaction that wants to tell you something. It wants to tell you that you kind of have fallen out of the circuit like this. If this is the sun here in the middle is your soul, when you feel like this, you have fallen out in the, like you have been thrown out from the center of gravity of your soul, because you have either stopped loving yourself. Maybe you have said the never word. I will never, he will never, she will never, they will never, and that tossed you away like this. Or you might have started to overthinking something, thinking until you throwed yourself out. If you just put yourself center here and don't mind what happens, let go of control, be in the here and now, don't take things personally, then you will go back to the center of your gravity, and you will use the pain, the vibration of pain that the child might feel, as insight instead. Okay, this I want, this I don't want. So you don't have to, like, sometimes we judge ourselves to, okay, it's always going to be like this. I've seen it so many times now, it's always going to be like this. If I fall in love with someone, they are never in love with me. Or if someone shows me love, it's someone that I really don't like or I don't want, and it's always going to be like this. So you fall out, you shoot yourself out from the center of gravity with these kind of thoughts. If you instead would think, okay, interesting, I really want to be courted like this, but next time I wanted to be with the person that I actually are attracted to, also myself, it will be exciting. Or you can also investigate, why am I not attracted to this person? Because sometimes we are always attracted to what's familiar, and if you do what you did, you get what you got. So sometimes you might need to take a chance and open up to someone that you're really not that attracted to, and maybe go on dates or befriend that person and see if something can grow. Because sometimes we are familiar with like what was in our childhood patterns, and we will repeat them endlessly if we don't step outside our comfort zone and into something that isn't quite that familiar, but might be much more healthy for us also. Okay, so the Fool. I think it's someone that it's dreaming about something, wants something, but so scared that they will be disappointed. So what happens if you are becoming disappointed? It's just a feeling inside of you. It's just a vibration. It's not going to kill you. It might make you feel humiliated, and that is good, because humiliation kills off the ego and makes room for the soul. So every time you are being humiliated, you're becoming like you're cleaning out your inner temple, making room for that beautiful soul of yours. So it's no problem to be humiliated. Being abused is a problem, though, because being abused says you don't have boundaries. If someone humiliates you, you can say, okay, so okay, you don't feel like that for me, it's sad, but I accept it. Then you're graceful, and you're also maybe backing away or making yourself a little bit more scarce, and that is also a boundary. You don't continue endlessly throwing yourself against the person that doesn't want you, because that is you're abusing yourself, you're being cruel towards yourself. Sometimes we need to court a person for a longer period of time if we know that they are the one, and they don't see it because maybe they are not aware enough, or they are preoccupied with other things in their lives. So it might be like this sometimes, and only you can decide when the courting ends and when the balance needs to step in, when there needs to start to become balance between the two partners. Because first we can court a person and elevate them, but then when we go into a relationship with them, it might be this dynamic, and then it's lopsided, because these are talking about balance. And eventually we might need to put several boundaries to put ourselves in the same value position as the other person. So that can come like a shock for them to have been pampered a little bit and then being put straight, but by now they are probably loving you enough to be able to also start to respect you for real. And if they don't, you're better off without them. Okay, so here is your future, and we have a 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is strength, being lifted up from the deep roots of you. This is Bird Phoenix, so he has he has died and come to life again, turned to ashes and come to life again. So I think this is what humiliation will do with you. Okay, also challenges will do this with you. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. So that's a tune for you. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. Okay, yes, I won't sing it for you. And here you have also the strength. So you have Nine of Wands, like the hermit kind of strength, but you also have the kind of Leo strength. So you're not hiding in a corner being strong by just having self-control and denying you a lot of things. You still want to live and live life to the fullest and have passion and love in your life, but you call it in, but you also say no to the things that's being offered to you, but you don't want. Okay, so the Seven of Wands comes in also here. So this is usually Leo. On this picture we see a wolf instead, so it's the divine masculine in its wild shape, like wild man shape. So I'm thinking you need to this beautiful knowing inside of you that you know your emotions also needs to be balanced together with strength. Being able to show your authentic vulnerability, like show who you really are in the depths of you for another person, but also be able to take care of yourself and not let anyone step on you. And how do you do that? Not with like feistiness or bitterness, but with no, yes, okay, no, I won't do that. Yes, I can do that. This is how you do it. It's calm, it's cool, it's very grown up. It's like being the bigger person. So I'm thinking all these challenges that you have been through has made you into this bigger person. And we can, when we feel like this, we can become enhanced and we can use this strength to demolish other people. So it's a certain power you have in your hands now. So don't use it like for bad purposes just because you want to. Like, oh, now when I got this strong, I won't care for this person that I loved before anymore because they never cared for me. And you will use your self-control to burn them to the end of this world by, you know, not letting them in or having, like, being rude. Okay, so it's not like that. This is another type of strength. It's kind of like this, but it's more calm and it's more unconditional loving towards others, more accepting towards others, also accepting what you can't control. So it's a strength that rises you above. It doesn't throw you down to Hell's Gate. It makes you a much more powerful spirit by doing also what's best for everyone and not just for yourself. But it's beautiful to have this strength because it's kind of throw whatever you want at me. You have been so challenged by the divine and by the circumstances in your life. So you're now you're unbelievably strong, and that whatever the divine or the world is throwing at you, you will just, it's no problem. You can take whatever. This is how strong you have become. So this is a superpower. So use it well and in moderation. Don't cause a fire you can't put out. And here we have another 8 and an 8 of Pentacles. So it's kind of calming me down because 8 strength together with the 8 of Pentacles, and then we have the 3 of Pentacles here, shows that you are putting your service in the divine's your strength in the service of the divine, we can say instead. It's better. Okay, so it's showing this beautiful willingness with you to actually do the job with this strength and not just use it to not feel pain anymore, but you're using it to make things better and to free yourself from some kind of circuit of karma. The 8 is again and again you're doing the same thing, perfecting it, and you're doing something new this time, something that's founded in love and vulnerability instead of rulership and power. So you're doing something that's good for everyone involved, and that is actually going to spread like rings on water. So just be, you see the 9 here, it's very easy to become like the bitter lone warrior. Don't become like that. Stay in this self-loving and also this the hero's road, like being like a real hero both for yourself and for others. So really being the bigger person. Always ask, what would the bigger person do in this situation? And then you do it, okay? Don't go on trips like feeling the anger, or use your power to diminish someone that earlier on diminished you. Sometimes we need to put very strong boundaries towards people. It's not the same thing. You might need to do something very strong, like going no contact with a person, for example, can be actually very beneficial in certain situations. When you deal with people that can't end with their abuse, you need to go into no contact with them because they can't end their circle of abuse, but you do it graciously, not with hatred, not with bitterness, not with anything of that. And now when you are in this beautiful strong position and you have given up your will to the divine, and you have all these nines, you can actually create whatever new future you want. It's just put yourself in that vibration, like feel the happiness if you would have already have it, without the feeling of I don't have it. Just a few seconds, if you can make it just a few seconds. So if I have an abundance of love in my life, and you can feel it for 1 or 2, 3 seconds, how that whoosh of love would feel, and then maybe you will start thinking or fearing, well, I don't have it, and you will throw yourself out of the circuit again. But you can practice on this and become more and more in tune with yourself, and eventually you will become a beautiful creator. 9 of Cups, it says, your wish is my command. And that's the universe being at your disposal. Whatever you want, you can have it, if it's aligned with the greater good of all, and if you are aligned with it. Every time you think I can't have it, you throw yourself out here, and the divine says, or the universe says, it's just like a blind law says, okay, your wish is my command, so you won't ever have it. And that's kind of your soul contracts that you can change them by also making affirmation. I'm ready for the big love in my life, or I'm ready for prosperity, I'm ready for abundance. You can also do this and put yourself in the right vibration. And first you might vibrate on a very low level, and you will feel like, oh, I'm just talking mumbo jumbo. But eventually you start believe it, and you put it more in the center. This beautiful Knight of Cups, going for the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is whatever your soul came here came with a longing for something, and that longing might be something that you have denied yourself. But what I see here in the future, you won't deny yourself this anymore, because now you're so strong. You love yourself also, so it's no reason to why you shouldn't have this, what you want. Okay, so it's very beautiful. I will see what the wisdom of the Oracle divination cards wants to say to you. Building blocks. Did you have this before? I wonder. 28. Strong foundations. This is what I'm seeing here. You will have it like in April. You will have built this strong foundation for yourself. You will in tune yourself first with some hesitation and some feeling on like, would this work, no, and yes. And then you will find it here, the strong foundation. A beautiful work in progress. You have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundation you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as the solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you're making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. I think that here you're about to tune into your inner baby and find out what it is that you want. And when you have tuned in, you will also make this strong foundation for yourself, so you will get this, what you want. So it's really like you're working with the law of attraction in a very good way, okay? When you see this card, know that you are attracting new relationships into your life and solidifying the ones you already have by building them on the foundation of honesty, humility, clear communication, not this keeping your mouth shut to restore or keep peace, okay? And genuine desire to know one another, communicate. The twos are kind of saying you don't really communicate, but and communicating your boundaries is a good start to start the communication. You are moving towards laying the groundwork for a relationship with a firm footing that will ensure it can withstand any storm. Long-standing relationships are also repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. You have everything you need to turn iron into gold in this alchemical process of creating the prosperous life you desire. Now is the time to build on the strong foundation you have already laid for your prosperity. Keep in mind that these building blocks are imbued with the sparkling energy of your intentions. Own your dream and remember that you always have more than enough and you always are enough. So abundance is ever present. Your creativity is divinely inspired and the design for your life is taking shape in service to the world. You are meant for success. Yes. You can also check like if there's any crack in your foundation, if your values have changed and it's time to strengthen your convictions and let go of things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Yes, or perhaps not ignore that certain contracts that you have gone into with other people. Maybe you ignore some red flags and you need to check that out. So remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is the time for rigorous honesty, for you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you did. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life, far beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what's not solid. Okay, it looks like you did the work with the pieces of your heart from the former reading. You have picked it together. You picked up your inner child here, and now you know. You picked up your heart, and now you know what you want, and you can be strong enough to see to that you get it. It's kind of always being aimed towards your goal, no matter what. Like no matter what challenges or no matter what mistakes are being made. Okay, safe to fall. Yes, this was what I was talking about. That never give up. And if you fall, the fool here, take a leap, and then you fall, you make a mistake. It's just more. It's just more wisdom. It's just more experience. That's going to make you even more like a wise creature. Okay, know even better for the future. This is why you're here, to learn. Just like the air that fills your lungs, my grace is invisible and yet brings you life. Fear of falling may prevent you from truly surrendering into my care. Yet if you were to realize that it is safe to fall, that my grace will catch you as you step beyond the edge of what you have known, so much would be possible for you. I urge you to believe in what is calling you to take a leap of faith. I tell you now, my wild, sweet beloved, the call is from me, urging you to open up to a bigger world. Trust me and relinquish logic and control. I will not fail you. Sometimes we try to hold on even when it would be better to let go. Sometimes what we hold on to is actually the very thing holding us back. If we let our fears become stronger than our trust, we will underestimate ourselves and the divine. Modern culture tends to generate a suffocating fear. We can subtly become programmed to believe and act as though the world is unsafe to explore. With such an attitude, we begin to contract, to defend, to close off, from which would make us uncomfortable, but also from what would help us learn and grow and become alive and live up to divine destiny. The other choice available to us is to open our minds to the prospect of unconditional trust, as we feel safe and willing to move beyond the worlds we have known. The great growth will take place within you and your life will change. So it's up to you now to always center towards this soul gravity inside of you, and knowing when you have thrown yourself out. You will know when you have thrown yourself out, because then you will feel hopeless. When you feel calm and cool and full of hope and trust, you're in the center. When you feel these other things, you have thrown yourself off. So always be aware of this, where you are, and take yourself back again. By calming words, you can say, okay, so this too will pass. It will fix itself. I will take a deep breath now. And I stay in my center. So you can also write a list of things that's wrong and how do you want them to be. That can also put you in the center of gravity when you aim towards this, what you do want, and you see what you don't want, and you take the experience of that, the wisdom from that, and change your compass direction to what you do want. Okay. So thank you for watching this far, and I want to welcome you to join me on my subscription service that is for the most devoted of my viewers, because here we can learn and investigate all of this, how to put yourself in the center of your own gravity, and how to make yourself, your inside, into a beautiful temple, which where you will always be this strong and this sure, whatever happens in your outside life. Okay. Oh, the snow is drifting on my window. So, okay, my dear Virgos, I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care, and I want to welcome you back to my April reading that I will do in the mid-month of March. Okay, so take care. Bye bye.